Hello everybody and welcome to In the Driver's Seat with dubizzle. Once again we have another special guest and it is none other than the Viking himself. It is Tony Keyrouz. Tony, thank you so much for coming down to the hub. First of all, what do you think of the facility?
I love the facility. Actually, it's the best place if someone wants to sell or buy his car. All in one, you can find your car here or you can sell your car here.
So, from looking at what you're up to, you are a Jeep fanatic, to say the least.
Yeah.
You love Jeeps, and that's the reason why we got one here today.
Yeah.
And we were talking before this, your knowledge on these cars is absolutely incredible. Like you could tell me the width of the tire from there, and you can't even see the tire very well from that angle. But, I mean, that's a small object. What about the suspension on this one?
Yeah, the suspension, as I saw, it's Fox 2.0, which we call it stage 1. For people who like off-road, but they don't want to go really extreme, like fun drives. So it's best for them as a daily use and as well as off-roading.
So you have a very secret project going on today. We'll get to in a bit though.
Yeah.
But let's talk about your first car that you had before. You had that, it wasn't a Gladiator, was it? It was a Jeep that was converted, correct?
It was the Jurassic Jeep.
Yes, that's the one.
Then we had the Viking Gladiator. And now we're doing a project. Stay tuned. You're going to see something, hopefully, one of one.
Okay, can you give us a small sample of what to expect here, or is it giving too much away?
It's going to be released soon.
Okay, we're looking forward to it, because obviously Tony has a very, very cool build coming away. Do wait for the reveal, because from the sounds of it, he's told us nothing about it, but it sounds really cool, because it's a Gladiator, right? That you're
It's a
basically
Gladiator, military style.
Okay.
It's going to be military green. We already had like sneak peek on the car in the Adi Hex in Abu Dhabi. But it was still like the first look. It's not finished yet, so we're waiting for the final look to be ready.
We can't wait. I'm really looking forward to this one. But let's talk a bit about what we have here behind us. So this is a 2020 Jeep Wrangler, the Sahara. This is the four-door, long wheelbase version of it. And we were talking before about how they've improved the car so much in the past couple of years. I mean, you'll know this more than I do. I mean, my knowledge of Jeep goes back to the mid to late 90s, because my mum had one. She fell in love with the car. It was her first ever car here, actually. Unfortunately, a couple of years ago, we actually had to get rid of it. We always wanted to restore it. So, you know, I thought I knew a thing or two about Jeep, but then I met you, and it seems to be I know nothing about Jeep. You know, for me personally, this is a real step in the right direction for Jeep. Fuel economy probably still isn't the best, but when it comes to off-roading, nothing can really beat it, can it?
Yeah, 100%. Now, as we saw, the Jeep improved a lot by their latest release, which is the Jeep 392, the V8. We're talking about the JL Sahara, and there is the Rubicon. We have the Gladiator as well. So they are trying to please everyone by the technology they are offering. We used to hear from a lot of people, you're driving a Jeep. It's a basic car. It is. But now, with the technology they are offering, new engines, new transmissions, the screens inside, leather seats from inside, they are working on it, but the person who's buying a Jeep, he knows what he's buying.
Someone like you.
He's looking for something specifically. If you want something luxury, it's not Jeep.
No.
It's something else.
I agree with 100%. I mean, they have started to add more luxurious features. You know, now Jeeps are coming with leather seats, navigation, touchscreens, all these kind of things. So there is some luxury to it, but in the end of the day, it's an off-roader, and it's a potent off-roader as well.
It should stay like this.
Exactly. It needs to stay true to its form. You know, when the Bronco came back recently, it kind of stayed true to its form as well. It's very utilitarian. It's very rugged. You know, there's a lot of plastic rubber bits everywhere, kind of exactly like the Jeep is. You know, this is a born, bred, thorough off-roader. You know, this thing is born to go off-road.
100%. And when you buy a Jeep, you're buying a Lego. So it's pieces. You collect some parts from here. You get excited. Oh, I'm changing my grill. I'm changing my wheels, my tires. It gives you a pleasure, which it's not going to finish. As long you're driving it, enjoying it, you're going to do a lot of stuff. And every month you look forward to drive it again.
I like how you said it's like Lego.
Yeah.
You know, because like you said, you can add all these bits and pieces here and there, but you can also do it yourself. You don't really need to go to a mechanic or a garage. You can just get a couple of friends, a couple of screwdrivers and some spanners. You can take the doors off, the windows. Okay, you can't do I remember on my mom's car, you could actually take the windows out and they had these little prongs that you stick in.
You can actually put it down.
Oh, you can still do it in this one too?
Yeah, you can still put it down.
Oh yeah, you can put the front one down. You can fold it flat, can't you? Yeah. And you know, you can just have a good time with your friends and just Lego build your own car essentially. And then what's great about it is that here, we don't have to worry too much about rain. The only thing we have to worry about is the sun.
Yeah.
The only thing we have to worry about here is the sun, really. So you can store the panels in the boot, obviously. Okay, the boot space is gone, but you can leave them at home. You know, you don't need them. Enjoy the sun.
You can do. They give you a lot of options, like how to remove your hardtop, your panels, and even you was mentioning rain. We was the first call of rescuing people who get stuck in the rain because of Jeeps. It's unstoppable. You can go even if it's flooding, water, any condition. You can still access. You can survive. You can go anywhere.
Yeah, the Jeep is built literally. I think it's Ford's slogan is built tough, but the Jeep is the toughest out there, to be honest. You know, there's nothing the Jeep cannot handle. But let's talk about Jeep for you as a whole. Like you said, it's very close to you. What's the reason that you love Jeep so much?
Okay, when I arrived to Dubai, to UAE in general, I looked at the country and I found that it has the beach and the dunes. So I said, Jeep for this perfect place is amazing. So you can go on the weekends on the beach, camp, or even just have a swim, do some barbecue and come back. And the same with the dunes. And now we are in the winter season. So everyone look forward to drive a Jeep, go somewhere, explore, do hiking. And it matched my personality as I am into fitness, into training, into outdoors and exploring. So it was the perfect option for me. And in the same time, when I started to discover how much I can do with a Jeep, how extreme I can go with a Jeep, and how I can leave it as a daily use car or stage 1 or stage 2, it depends how much do you want to go.
So what would be your ideal Jeep situation here? Would you go all the way to stage 3 or?
Actually, stage 3 as a Jeep, which you can go to work and you can have a fun on a weekend would be perfect. Because if you go extreme it's gonna be a weekend car or a taste of specific people. It's not gonna please everyone. It's gonna be unique, but no one gonna like it like you do. You know, it's gonna be a piece. But when you go stage 3, it might please everyone. A woman that she would like to go to work with her Jeep, and she would like to go with her friends on dunes or desert in the weekend.
So a Jeep is a very versatile car, isn't it? It can be used as a daily and a weekend off-roader, isn't it? So you got the best of both worlds, essentially.
Yeah.
As long as you live close to work, I would say. So out of all the Jeeps that they've built, what is your favorite?
Now, actually, my favorite is the 392 because they gave us the power we need if we want to go on bigger tires or we want to add some weight on the car, because we face the weight problem on a Jeep. And we was wondering why we don't have the V8 yet, because we saw on other cars, they have more powerful engines. So when they released the 392, it was the amazing combination between if you want to do overlanding or off-roading or a daily use. And you can go as well at 4-cylinder on an 8-cylinder Jeep. So economy as well, fuel economy-wise, it's really good.
So it'll be more economical now to buy a V8 Wrangler than it would be for the V6, because it has that cylinder deactivation option inside the car, where basically if you're running at certain speeds, I think it's under a certain speed, or if you're on cruise control, right, it would kind of just shut off 4-cylinder banks, 100%. And then you're basically running a 4-cylinder engine.
Yeah.
So that makes it even better to buy a V8. You don't need any more reasons to buy a V8 Wrangler. Just go and buy one after Tony has driven it, though, obviously first, because we're all jealous of him. He gets to drive it first before any of us do, by the way. So you've got to come pick us up at some point in that, because we want to see this. You know, we've been imagining this for years. I've personally I've seen an LS swapped Wrangler.
We had a lot of swap engines, go to Hellcat, 6.4, 6.2, 5.7. So we had to pay extra money, losing our warranty, doing it on our own to get the extra power that we was looking for. So now it's provided by the dealership with the warranty on it, and it can help to reduce this, to remove this problem.
Do you think it would be a good idea if they dropped the Hellcat engine in here?
We did it already.
Oh, you've done it already, have you? What was that
like? But the thing is, we need to be careful, not just adding horsepower. When you add horsepower, you need to add heavy-duty brakes. You need to reinforce your axles. You need to change your drive shaft. So it's a whole equation. It's not like, okay, we have an engine, but we don't have anything else. So you need to respect the engineers, the equation of the car.
You know, and that's some really good advice actually for people who are looking to tune their car for the first time. That you can tune the engine slightly. I remember we were talking about this before as well.
Yeah.
That it was a minimal amount of horsepower is okay. I think it was, you said it was less than 50 or 100, something like that.
If you add like simply a cold air intake, a modified one, plus a tune on the car, you can gain around 15 to 20 horsepower easily.
Yeah.
And you're still in the safe side.
And then it's when you start putting more and more power, obviously, that's when you need to start putting new stuff on it that matches that power. You need something that can handle the power. Careful, you know, the transmission needs to be changed, the brakes need to be changed, the drive shaft, tires. You know, people don't think about that either. You know, people just think, oh, I can keep the same tires on it. No, you need completely different tires on it. You need heavy duty ones that will be able
100%.
to withstand the power. So if you're looking to tune your vehicle, remember, tune it little by little, and remember to tune everything at the same time. Don't do one at a time. Don't overclock the engine, and don't whack on new tires. Do everything step by step.
Yeah, the step by step, and as well, do not go cheap on your car.
Yes, this is very good. Never go cheap on your car, seriously.
Because when you go cheap, it will automatically affect on your safety. Means when you buy something and you say, I found it for half of the price. Okay, half of the price, it's not gonna last you like when you go to a known brand or with a brand that we have experience with it before, but it's more expensive. Pay expensive, but it's gonna make you safe.
Exactly. I agree with you 100% because safety is priority when driving, because while you might be safe on the road, there might be other dangers on the road that can affect you, and it's always better to be safe than sorry. So always make sure that you have original parts in your car. Make sure that they're expensive parts as well. I'm not saying go all out and get gold parts for your car. Don't go that crazy, but just shell out the extra money for it, because in the end of the day, it is worth it.
Actually, there is options. You can go for something really expensive, and you can go for something, like we said, stage 2 or stage 3. And it will still safe and fine, and it's not going to be broken.
Now, before we go, let's talk about dubizzle as a whole, because I assume that you've used dubizzle in the past to buy and sell cars.
Yeah.
What's your what's your impression of dubizzle? How has it been for you?
I love the application. It's so easy, but I had the hustle with phone calls. The phone calls and the messages, actually, like I needed to give it time properly. But then I discovered that there is an option where you can, dubizzle, they can take care of it, which they can reply to the messages and reply to the phone calls. And when they have a proper client or lead for your car, then you can go for it. That's
our managed service at dubizzle Cars. We aim to make it as easy as possible and stress-free to sell your car. So if you're looking to sell your car the easy way, and of course, best way to do it is we have two services available here. You can sell it straight to us, or as you mentioned before, we have the managed service where we'll handle all the phone calls, messages, appointment, test drive, and we'll even get you the best price for your car, guaranteed.
Yeah, this was really something easy, especially here in Dubai. Everything is in a rush. You need time is money here.
Yes, true.
So when you have this kind of experience and services, it would be amazing for someone who wants to sell his car. And regarding if you want to buy your car, I saw in the hub today in our tour that there is inspection for the car, which is for people who doesn't have really experience. This is the best idea for them to deal with experts, where they will tell them or buy it or avoid buying it because it have a lot of issues.
Yeah, and that's exactly what happens here. When you buy a car from us, we will give you the inspection report, 120 points inspect. We'll give you a 120-point inspection report as well. So it will detail what's happened to the car. It will detail everything about the car. So it will show you the interior features. If there's anything minor on the car, any dent, scratch, like this, we will show you that in the report as well, because we want to make sure it's transparent, and we want you to know that whatever car that you're buying from us is exactly what you see on paper. Yes, it might be polished and look bright and shiny, but of course, every car has an imperfection somewhere. You know, no car will be absolutely perfect. We even check the chassis, for example, these cars like the Wranglers and stuff like this, these are all checked underneath. Yeah. Because when people go off-roading, people tend to...
Especially when you see an advert, only women driven the car, and then you discover that the car was doing a heavy off-road.
This is a very interesting tactic that people would like to use here, and most of the time, literally 9 times out of 10, when you go, it's not a lady driver at all.
Yeah.
It's a guy. You know, it happens every time. It is the most baffling thing to me. I've never understood why people do this. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't say to my mum, hey, sell my car. And then when people call, I'll say, yeah, it's expat lady driven. You know, no, I'm not going to put my mum through that. You know.
Yeah, here you gain the trust of the buyer or the seller when you are dealing with honesty, and you will give him the report. And regarding the report, he can decide, or he buy it or he doesn't. So this is a good point here. When you buy the car, you really feel safe buying the car and go ahead with the next process.
Well, Tony, thank you so much for joining us on this episode of In the Driver's Seat with dubizzle. We look forward to seeing your new ride. We can't wait to see, because apparently it is coming very soon.
Yes. Soon we're going to release it in January. And our first event is going to be. And stay tuned on my social media. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for coming down, and you're welcome at any time.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.